Hey there, friends. Shawn here, and this is a best of episode of the Unstuck Entrepreneur podcast, where I'm taking the most popular, most talked about, most important episodes of the past and bringing them back for an encore presentation. So enjoy the replay of this episode, and I'll be back in a few weeks with another new episode and fresh topic. Hey there, I'm Shawn Mynar, and this is Unstuck Entrepreneur. I'm a former nutritionist who turned a struggling, stressful nutrition practice into a thriving, freedom-filled online business where I work from home in my sweatpants while reaching and helping thousands of people all at the same time. Now I'm obsessed with showing other heart-centered coaches, practitioners, and solopreneurs how to build a business and life they love. Consider this podcast your safe space to learn both the inner work and practical strategies required to build the impactful, profitable business of your dreams. No hustle, grind, or long hours required. That's right, hustle culture, not welcome here. Let's get into today's session. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Unstuck Entrepreneur. So happy to have you here. So glad to be back. I don't know if you all noticed, but I did take a week off of the podcast last week because I had COVID. And it actually worked out that when I recorded the episode for the week prior, basically that day is when my wife found out that she had COVID, which meant I probably had it too. And it actually took another 2 days for me to get a positive test. But, I still felt fine that day. And then basically the following week was kind of a disaster in terms of how I felt. But then by Friday, which is when I normally record these episodes, I felt pretty good again, but my lungs didn't. And my voice wasn't quite there. And there was just still a lot of coughing. And my lungs were really struggling to keep up with air. And so it just didn't make sense to record an episode because you guys wouldn't have enjoyed hearing that. So I decided to take the week off and just really regain my energy and get my lungs back to where they are used to being and my voice and everything like that. So here I am. And yeah, feeling totally back to normal. I've been hiking this week and working out and obviously working and doing all that kind of stuff. So basically just took it easy for about a week. I still did work. I was working from bed a lot, which I like to do even when I'm feeling great. It's just fun to work from bed sometimes. So I did that and, took it easy with obviously my workouts. That wasn't really happening. And just also with the amount of work I was doing, giving myself that space to rest and recover and just kind of be present. So now I'm back and so grateful to be and so grateful for that experience and just being what it was and not, bad for us. Really grateful for that. So anyway, let's talk about your email list. Yes, I know we talk about email lists so much, but I still there's still just so much to talk about. There really is. It seems like something that's really basic and really simple in your business. But I think, if you've listened to Unstuck Entrepreneur and the episodes that we have already discussed email lists on here, then there's a lot more to it and how valuable it will be for your business. And that just brings with it a lot more to think about and some nuances that we need to go through. And, if you really want to make it this thing that really changes your business and your life, it can be that, but we got to talk about it a little bit more than maybe you think we need to or think we should, but it's super important stuff. Now, before we get into it, I have a super duper crazy exciting announcement. I want you all to mark your calendars for June 14th, 2022. That's in just a few weeks, because on June 14th, I am hosting a free live workshop called Signature Program in a Day. This is unlike any other workshop I've ever done, ever, because it's not a webinar. It's not just this thing where I'm going to be talking at you and you can kind of be paying attention while doing 1,000 other things. And have 1,000 other tabs open, all that stuff. That's not what this is. This is an interactive workshop that will involve brainstorming, working, feeling, sharing, learning, getting coached, all of that. So come ready to get down to business and make some big decisions and get to know and share with the other people that are there live, these new like-minded friends that you're going to be making. It is an interactive coaching opportunity and is for anyone who wants to add a signature program to your business. Now, you can want this to be happening tomorrow or maybe next year or in the next few years. You want to have a signature program. If that is at all in your future, this is for you. And when you attend live, you're going to have the opportunity to get one-on-one support and guidance from me. Again, it's a coaching opportunity. It is interactive. And we're going to build out your signature program together. So by the end of our time together, by the end of that afternoon, you will have a solidified signature program and you will have clear next steps on how to get it out into the world and make it part of your business, no matter what stage of business you're in right now. And also during this event, I'm going to really walk you through and take you step by step through the process of answering really the biggest questions, the 8 biggest questions that come up about signature programs that, quite frankly, keep most wellness business owners away from ever taking this step in their business. It keeps them shying away. It keeps them from ever doing this. And I don't want that. I hate seeing that. That is not us. That is not what we're doing here. That is not what I want for you. So I am taking the afternoon to not only answer these questions for you, but to do it with you, to see you through them so that you are there. You're beyond that and you're ready to go. So imagine yourself and what will happen with your business when you have answers to these questions like, am I truly ready for my own signature program? What's the best topic for my program? Who's the perfect client for my program? What results will my clients get from my program? What's the price? What am I going to include in my program? How do I build an audience of these clients that want my program? And how do I sell my program without feeling salesy? Just imagine if you had the clarity, if you had the knowing, if you had gone through and found the answers in your business specifically to those questions. It's a big deal, and that would really take you to the next level pretty quickly. So that's what we're going to do together in this live workshop. Now, here's the deal. Spots are super duper limited because of this interactive component, because of the coaching aspect. I really can't exceed a certain level. I want to be, I want it to be a small group, basically, is what I'm saying. And so when it's full, it's full. So this isn't really something that you can procrastinate and just decide, at the last minute that you want to be at or not. If you know that this is something that you want to do in your business, then sign up now. And you can go to shawnmynar.com/day, D-A-Y, shawnmynar.com/day, and sign up for this live interactive workshop signature program in a day. As long as you have the ability, as long as you can go to that site and sign up, then that means there's still room. As soon as it's full, that site is coming down. So, just keep that in mind. Super limited spots. And now if you want to get this information, if you want to go through this process, but you can't be there live, obviously the best experience is going to be you there live at the event doing the interactive components. But if you can't be, and you still want the info, you can still sign up. But what I want you to do is, and you'll be prompted to do this once you sign up, is to email my team and let us know that you can't be there live so that we can then save that spot for someone who can. So that's our way of kind of knowing when the amount of people that are going to be there live gets to the place where it's the right amount. And then we'll shut it down. Okay, so you can still sign up. You will get a replay. Everyone will get a replay. Again, if you think there's any way that you can carve out the time to be there live, that is how you are going to get the absolute most out of this. But totally understand if you can't, just let us know and we'll keep that spot open and available for someone who can. All right, so ShawnMynar.com/day. As you can tell, I am absolutely thrilled to do this. This is going to just be such a fun event and just so transformative for you and fun at the same time. Like, it's just going to be so cool. So can't wait to do that, June 14th. All right, let's get back on the topic of email lists. I am just so determined. I have this level of determination in me that I don't have for a lot of things, to be totally honest. But in this case, I have it. I want to help you make your email list work for you and have it be something that you really, truly love and appreciate and value in your business, not dread. That is my goal because it is so important. So today's episode, we're going to focus on the growth of your email list. Now, if you haven't started an email list, if you're still not sure that that's something that you want, if you're kind of dragging your feet on that, we have some episodes back in the past. I want to say episodes 126 through 129, I believe. Head back and listen to those first and really commit to this decision in your business, really understand what it's going to do for you, and then come back and listen to this episode and get yourself all set up for growth. This episode is really for the person that is already there, already knows the power of the email list and is ready and willing to do that in their business, has done some work to get it up and running, and it's not happening in the way that you thought it would. You're struggling to get people onto your email list to sign up for your freebie, and just the growth is a tough situation for you. So we're going to spend some time today really troubleshooting what may be happening if you feel like you should be getting more people on your list and you're just not. First, our quote from Seth Godin, who is just one of my favorite marketing experts. His books are so good. So if you are someone who is really struggling to connect with the marketing aspect of your business, check out really any of his books. They're all so good. One of my favorites is called This Is Marketing by Seth Godin, obviously. Really great book. So see if you can find that if you're interested. But he says, don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. And we're going to tweak this just a little bit for what we're talking about today and say, don't find clients for your freebie, find a freebie for your clients, because it's really all going to come down to the very first thing you have to do is understand who you want on your list and then create something that is valuable to them that will entice them to put their email into that box. So don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. Yes, that absolutely so true. So true. But we can also extend it even into our free stuff and how we can really attract the right audience by way of really thinking in reverse of what do these people that I want to work with, what do they need? And we'll get into that in just a second. And let me just say this right here at the very start so that I don't have to keep repeating it over and over and over again throughout this conversation. Every single thing, every single thing that I am going to share with you today is covered in detail, in immense detail in my course, Launch List Accelerator. And that is available both on its own and also for free as part of the Signature Program Bundle, both of which are available right now on my website at ShawnMynar.com/coaching. So if during any of this episode, you think, ooh, I need a little more guidance on that. I need help with that. I need to be coached through that. I need ideas on that. I need more help here. It is available to you. I have made it very, very available for you for every single thing that we're covering today. And that's inside Launch List Accelerator. So again, you can check that out, shawnmynar.com/coaching. You get it either on its own or in the signature program bundle. So first things first, before, and I know most of you know this, and this is going to be review for a lot of you, you need an epic freebie. You need a freebie. Please do not have just a generic sign up form like, hey, sign up for my newsletter and I'll email you with great tips every other week. That's not enticing enough these days. That actually worked kind of, I must say, that kind of worked back when I was starting my business 10 years ago because there wasn't a lot of people doing it at this point. But now, 10 years later, everyone has a website, everyone has an email list, everyone has a newsletter, everyone has a sign-up form. And so it's like we constantly see it on every single website we go to or everyone's link in bio that we go to. And it's just, you don't even notice it. Like it's just like noise at this point. It doesn't mean anything except for maybe the very, very, very few super fans that you have that don't want anything from you. They just are more than willing to sign up for whatever you do. That's going to be rare. I mean, it'll happen, but it's going to be rare. And so your growth is going to be very, very small if you really try to focus on this generic situation. Instead, we create an epic freebie. Now, what makes it epic? It is epic because it's addressing a pain point that your dream client is experiencing. And it gets them to the point where they think, oh my gosh, I need this. This is so helpful. I've been looking for something like this. And even to the point where they think, I would pay money for this. I can't believe they're giving it away for free. That would be ideal, right? But it really is epic because it's specific and it's helpful and it's really dialed in to the one person that you want to work with and connecting with them in a unique way that they understand that you really get them and you're really doing work for them and you have something that's going to help them. So as you can see, the specificity there is what makes it epic, which obviously means that you need to know who your dream client is and what they're experiencing, what they're going through in a very intimate way. It is such important work and not something I think enough of us are doing to the degree that you need to do in order to get that specificity and intimacy with the person that you want to work with so that they are just magnetically drawn to your work, that they really can't help but put their name and email address in that box because they are so interested in what you do and who you help and how you help them because it's them and because you're addressing something they're going through. You have hit on a pain point that they're experiencing that probably not a lot of other people have talked about with them yet. They're in that search mode. They're in that place where they are looking for help. And then they find you and they see that you have a resource for them. And it's like, yes, this is so amazing. That's what makes it epic. So you've got to do that dream client work first. And what I commonly see is not that. It's like a very general freebie. It almost feels like that business owner created a really random freebie because, some business coach told them they needed to. They heard that's what the next step is or the first step is, and they didn't really think it through. They didn't do that prior work first, that dream client work, that magnetic messaging work first. So they just kind of created this general freebie so they can say they have a freebie, but it's not actually doing anything. It's not attracting really anybody because it's not enticing to anyone. It wasn't created with one particular person or problem in mind, so it doesn't really get the attention of anybody and doesn't grow their list. And also in this situation, the few people that do sign up are going to be pretty random. They're not actually going to be interested in your paid offer down the road because your free offer wasn't targeted enough. It wasn't specific enough, and it wasn't tied directly to that paid offer that you have. So there is that connection there between what you're offering for free and what your paid offer is, that then means the people that are getting on your list are the right people for your paid offer. And if you have just a more general, just kind of, okay, checkbox done, I created a freebie thing going on, then you will not have the quality of email lists that you want to have to really sell your services down the road. And the one thing that I think really trips people up here is that they think that when I say epic, I mean that it needs to be like super long, super detailed, that you just need to give all your stuff away for free. And that is not true. The best freebies are short, they're sweet, they're digestible. The person can go through them in like 5 to 15 minutes if it's like a workbook or something, and helpful, but not overwhelmingly helpful, not giving everything away. It's just really focusing on one pain point, perhaps, or maybe touching in on a few pain points, but not giving the whole plan or protocol away for free or anything like that. Okay. So you can easily create an epic freebie in like 1 or 2 work sessions. I mean, like the designing of it may take a little longer if you're not a designer, like how it is for me, but really creating the content of that freebie can be done in 1 or 2 sittings. If you're spending more time on it than that, then you may want to revisit it and see if there's a way to simplify it even more. Remember, digestible is really important because if someone has to spend a really long time on it, or there's a bunch of pages to read, these are people that don't know you that well. And so the asking for that time commitment is probably not going to happen. We have a very short attention span for people that we don't know. So having a short, digestible thing that people can get through the entire thing, that means they're going to connect with you even more because they actually made it through your freebie. They actually did the work. They walked through the workbook. They read the thing. And now they feel like they actually have a connection with you versus losing them halfway through and they never make it to the end and you've lost them. Okay, so short, sweet, digestible, helpful. Now let's say that you already have an epic freebie. You are super confident and excited about the freebie that you have, ready to put it out into the world. You're sharing about it, you put it on your website, you talk about it on your podcast, whatever it is, and you're still not seeing the number of people that you expected to sign up for it. So now what do? There are 3 big reasons why you are struggling to grow your email list, even with an epic freebie. And there are more. There's some one-offs, some nuances, of course, but these are the 3 biggest reasons. First of all, your freebie isn't epic enough and or it is not enticing to your audience. So this really could mean 2 things. Either you need to tweak your freebie and make it more enticing for your audience, or you need to work on building up an audience of your dream clients. And a lot of times it's actually the latter. You do have a really great freebie, but your audience isn't full of your dream clients yet, full of the people that you created that freebie for yet. And so maybe like, for example, you are using what used to be your personal Instagram or Facebook as your now business account. And so some of those people aren't your dream clients. They don't care about what you do. They're like your high school friends or your cousins or, something like that. So there are people in your audience, and this might actually make up a big chunk of your audience right now, that aren't your dream clients. Or maybe you pivoted. Maybe you were talking about one thing and you had an offer about one thing and you're really focusing in on that, and you started to grow your audience based on that. And then you realized you had something else you were passionate about. You wanted to start working on something different or working with different people. And so you switched your content and your focus. And that's totally fine. I've done it a million times. It's fine. But that means that your audience now isn't in alignment with that new freebie. And so now it's time to evaluate. Is it your freebie or is it your audience? And if it's your audience, then the cool thing is that continuing to share about your freebie, like really, really dialing in and making your content very much in alignment to your freebie, and you continue to speak directly to that person, then you are going to naturally attract them. If you start getting in your head and thinking, okay, well, I have this freebie and no one's interested in it, so that means I must need to change up what I'm talking about, or I guess this isn't epic enough, or whatever, and then you start getting wishy-washy and you start sharing about things that aren't directly related to that person, or wouldn't be for that person, or wouldn't be related to that topic, then that wishy-washiness is going to stall your growth. I know it seems like the opposite would be true and you need to just start being more general. That is not the case. If you want to build your audience full of people who want your freebie, then you've got to stick with that and stick with it and know that it takes time, but know that that is what works, and wishy-washiness doesn't work. And, if you realize you don't have an epic enough freebie, then just create another freebie. And yeah, I know it's like, that seems so daunting and that's a lot of work and whatever. Remember, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just needs to be epic. It needs to be very, very specific for that person. And if you don't know who that person is, who you want to work with, who your dream client is, then I have all kinds of resources available for you. That is something we do in basically every course that I have. So really make sure you figure that out right away. But don't be afraid to scrap your freebie if you realize it's not epic enough, and try again. But also, please make sure that it truly is that. And, if you really think that your freebie is epic enough already, keep it. Keep it and focus on building up your audience. Don't use this freebie situation as just another more busy work to keep you from doing what you actually need to be doing. Really, really get true to yourself and think about, is it my freebie or is it my audience? And which one really actually needs to be where you're putting your energy. And then also consider these next couple of things we're going to talk about, because it may not be your audience and it may not be your freebie. It might be your landing page. So often, basically, pretty much, I'd say 90% of the landing pages that I see are not selling your freebie the way that they should be. Your landing page, and just for people that don't know, the landing page is that page that you send people to who want your freebie, where they put in their name and email address. And your landing page is not just like a little pop-up box asking for their email address, or just this little thing that says, this is what you get, sign up here. No, that does not work anymore. And again, it may have worked 10 years ago when I started. This does not work anymore. You have got to create a landing page that is a sales page for your freebie. You need to use your magnetic messaging. Again, something that happens in every single one of my courses. Use your magnetic messaging to connect with your dream client and let them know that you get them and that you created something really valuable that will help them from where they are now with this problem, with this pain point, to a solution for that problem. It needs to be clear, concise, non-fluffy, not clever. There's plenty of time for cleverness that you can do inside your freebie. You can say all the jokes and have all the acronyms and do all the things. But on the page, when we're trying to get people to understand if it's for them or not, if it's worth it to put in their email address or not, we keep it clear, concise, and non-fluffy. A good test is like a fourth grader should be able to read your landing page and know what it is, know who it's for, what it's going to help with, and how they can get it. Seriously, if you have a fourth grader in your network of people, your friends, your own kids, your nieces and nephews, whoever, do the test. Seriously, do it. It's so helpful. So clear, concise, non-fluffy, and also not talking about the freebie, like, oh, it's a 15-page workbook and you get this, this, and this, and you'll have this many things to go through. And it's not that. It's talking about who this person is, what they're currently experiencing, and what will happen because they download this freebie. What they'll learn, what will resolve, how they'll feel, what they'll experience. Really painting the picture of the before and the after. Like, paint that picture. Remember, does my client understand that I truly, truly get them? That is what you want on the landing page. This is not happening, my friends. I love you all. I've seen a lot of landing pages because, I kind of spy on you guys. I'm not going to lie. I just like to see where you're at and what you're doing and what I can help you with. And I go to landing pages for freebies that are being offered, and they are not enticing. The freebie themselves are great, but the landing page is not keeping my attention and getting me excited to put in my email address. I already put my email address into tons of things. I don't want it to have just another thing that I'm signed up for. And that's not convincing me that I need this thing. Okay, so really, really spend time on your landing page. I cannot stress this enough. And then the last thing, if you have all this going on, you really feel good about all these things, and even if you don't, you're still probably doing this, which is that you're not talking about it enough. So just as often as I see landing pages that aren't selling the freebie, I'm also not seeing you talk about it enough. Like, let me just tell you right now, you're not sharing about your freebie enough. You're not weaving it into your content enough. It's not displayed enough on your website. You're not sharing about it enough on your content channels. You're not using all of these avenues that we have available to grow our email lists. You're not using them to their full advantage. Like social media, for sure. That is something like the main goal of you spending time on social media is to, yes, of course, build a connection with your audience, but doing so that they're ready to take the next step with you, which in this case of social media, the next step is to get on your email list. And they have to know that's even an option. They're not just going to go looking like, oh, this person, I love this person's content. I love when they post. They're so great. I always learn so much, or I'm so entertained, or I just like their energy. Let me go hop around and see if I can find a way to get on their email list. No one's doing that. They have to know that you have something available that is made specifically for them that will help them with a specific thing. They have to know that a lot of times. Not once, not twice, not 4, 5, 7 times. They need to know about it like at least 10 times over and over again. Now, that doesn't mean you have to talk about it like every single day, but it should be something that is regularly a part of your content creation schedule. It is something you can easily weave in to, the caption you're writing because you're talking about something specific and you're staying on topic with your content creation, which means it very easily can roll into like for more help or download my freebie or whatever. So that can easily become a part of your social media content creation, but also your website. Again, when we are getting people on to our website by, writing a blog post or telling them to check out a podcast episode and then sending them there, you are doing so with the intention of getting them onto your email list, because you can't control whether they go onto your website or not, what they look at, what they engage with, if they even read anything, but you can control whether they get your emails or not. And so to get them to take that next step with you and get them from your website onto your email list is the goal. And there is all kinds of real estate that you can use on your website to promote your freebies. In the header, in the footer, on the homepage, in every blog post, on the sidebar of every blog post. They really can be all over, and there's ways to do it where they look really nice. They look like part of your website. You've created some graphics. They really flow well, and it's just a natural part of that website experience that you're giving people. So I'm not seeing enough people use their website to that advantage. Also, Pinterest. Definitely not enough people using Pinterest. And this is something that, I think I'm going to do probably a whole episode about, because there's just so much that I can talk about here. But if you're not currently using Pinterest for your business, you're going to want to. Why not? It's free. It's easy. It takes so little time and can make a really big difference in your business, especially if you have a blog or a podcast or, several different freebies. You can really use Pinterest to help grow your email list. And then, if you do have something like a podcast, a YouTube channel, a blog, using those, again, as other avenues to build your email list. That is a main goal of those other platforms that you have, and really making that a focal point of what you do there. Even your network, maybe colleagues or friends or people who went through your program together, or just whatever, using the network of people that you have. Here's a really good example. Inside Holistic Business Starter, we had, I think it was at least 10 people in that group create a freebie bundle that they all put in their own freebie together and then shared it on their separate channels and, social media and platforms and things like that. And it was a huge success for them. Using people you already know and putting your heads together and getting people to promote your stuff, you helping to promote other people's stuff, creating a bundle, a little network. Gosh, how, just such a good idea and so valuable. And another really good way to build your email list quickly is with an event. It could be a live event. It could be an in-person event, live virtual event. And it doesn't have to be tied to any sort of paid offer or anything like that, but just doing an event just to do it as a way to build your email list and get some valuable information out there. That is such a great way. And it is a pretty quick injection of subscribers, because anyone who obviously subscribes to become a part of that event also gets on your email list. So consider something like that as well. But all in all, please, 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 please don't be afraid to share about your freebie often. It is a free resource that is going to help someone else in a pretty big way with a problem that they're experiencing. And that is a big deal. So you want to make sure that that person knows they have something available that can help, and they don't have to pay for it. They can get some free help right now. That's all you're doing. And it takes a lot of reminding for people to get to that point where they remember to go over and grab your freebie. So it needs to be a constant, continuous thing that you are doing in your content creation. So those are the 3 biggest things that I want you to look at, really 4. I guess 3 if you already have a freebie, and 4 if you don't. Really look at and see what you can do. Get honest with yourself and see what tweaks you need to make to get into a bigger growth strategy with your email list. Now, before I let you go, I just want to share a few reminders and words of encouragement, I guess I would say. First of all, remember, there is no magic number of subscribers that you need to have before your business is viable or can be successful or you can make a certain amount of money. That doesn't exist. If you have one person on your list, then you have an email list and you have an audience and you have a potential paying client. Don't stress out about the number. Don't focus on the number. Focus on the quality of the people on your list. That is way more important than the numbers. And that takes it all the way back to the beginning, where the very first step to creating your epic freebie is to understand who you want to attract. And the person that you want to attract is the person that you want to work with and the person that you have a paid offer for. And that is what guides your whole email list strategy in the first place. And when you have that in place, then the quality of the people on your list are going to be so much better. And that is what will really take your business to the next level. Then you have an engaged audience of people that want what you have to offer, both free and paid. And that is huge. So focus on getting the quality of your email list up versus us feeling like you need a certain number, okay? Next reminder, don't forget to continue communicating and connecting with those people that have signed up for your list. I don't care if there's 5. Doesn't matter. Give them a warm welcome with your welcome sequence. That's all going to be automated. Once you do it once, it's done and you don't have to worry about it. And you still know that they're going to get that experience from you and they're going to feel really good getting on your email list and getting to know you better. And then continue to connect with them regularly. So that is what, yes, you will have to do once a week or once every other week, is to send valuable emails to them until they're ready to take the next step with you and become a paying client. And even then, they're still getting your emails because they're part of your community at that point. So just really don't stop here at the point of building your email list. It continues. It's an ever growing thing, and it's something that continues to need your attention, and it's worth it. It is so worth it to put your attention there and put your time and energy there. And the last thing to remember, as words of encouragement, remember that this is a process. It is something that takes time, especially when you are focusing on the quality of the people coming onto your list. And that's okay that it takes time. The cool thing is with email lists is that it has this snowball effect. The first 100 people on your list, they're going to be the hardest ones to get. It's going to feel like the biggest challenge, I guess. But then, and I don't really know exactly why this is, let's just call it an energetic thing, because I don't know if there's any other more 3D explanation for this, except maybe just time passing and you getting more comfortable. That'd be like the 3D explanation that I can think of. But anyway, it's going to be that much easier to get to 200 and then even easier to get the next 500, and then even easier to get the next 1,000, and the next 5,000, the next 10,000. It just gets easier. The first 100 are the hardest and probably take the longest. So it's a process, but in this process, and the coolest thing, if we go back to like what you're doing on your website, what you do on Pinterest, what you do on your other platforms, social media, not so much because it has such a short lifespan, but everything else has a long lifespan. So someone could see your pin that you posted 6 months ago and sign up for your freebie. Someone could listen to a podcast episode or see a YouTube video that you posted 2 years ago and sign up for your freebie. So that's another reason why the snowball effect happens. But yes, it takes time and that is okay. But remember, you only need one person for you to have the opportunity to have a paying client. You only need like 30 people to fill up a signature program. You don't need a big number when you have focused on getting the right people on your list. All right, my friends, I'll leave you with that. Remember, if you need help with any of this, ShawnMynar.com/coaching. I literally walk you by the hand with every single thing we just talked about. And also, don't forget to register for June 14th signature program in a day. Put it on your calendar, block it out, and plan to spend the afternoon with me. We're going to be live. We're going to do it together. And you are going to be really, truly working on your business and planning out your future. This is not just time you're just going to lose. This is such time well spent, especially for your business. And it's going to be fun and super transformational. So hope you can be there. Again, ShawnMynar.com/day. That's DAY, ShawnMynar.com/day. That will be linked in the show notes. And I can't wait to hang out with you. And until next time, take care. Hey friend, real quick before you go, don't forget to head over to my website and take the quiz to find out your solopreneur personality type. I've created a super fun, super informative 2-minute quiz that will show you which one of the 4 solopreneur personality types you fall into. Could it be the boss, the socialite, the visionary, or the supporter? Which one are you? Not only is it just fun to know more about yourself, especially as it relates to your business, but it's also really important information so you can be sure that you're building a business that works for you based on your energy, your personality, and your desires. Did you ever take those quizzes from the Cosmopolitan magazine back in the day? It's kind of like that, but with actual solid questions and real helpful tips and advice at the end. You can find the What's Your Solopreneur Personality Type quiz right on the homepage of my website at ShawnMynar.com. Head there now to take the quiz, then let me know over on Instagram at UnstuckEntrepreneur what your type is. I'll see you over there.